Just half a year ago, I was at one of my lowest points mentally. I just returned home from school and felt as if I had no passion to pursue, no purpose with my time. I was alone and doing work that I had little connection with. It took me months of growth and experimentation to get to the point where I am today, wiser, more dedicated, and more motivated than I was ever before. Hi, I'm Michael. I'm a student at Brown University, and today I will teach you how I took back control of my life, one small step at a time. Each step builds upon the other, and the last step is perhaps the most important adjustment I made to change my life for the better. The first step I took was to set my goal. We all have desires that we want to fulfill. We all have these dreams. Some of us want to be a successful business owner. Some of us want to remove toxicity from our lives. Some of us want to travel the world and not have to worry about any of the things that are happening with our present life. But from where we are now, that won't happen if we don't change. And those will stay dreams if we don't change. What I did was I looked at the pain points that I felt in my life, what I wanted to achieve with my life, what passion that I wanted to pursue. And I made that one goal a priority in my personal life. So take a minute to review your life, your pain points, your wishes, your desires, and think of one goal that you have that you want to accomplish within the next year. Once that goal has been identified, I look at the extrinsic and intrinsic reasons that I want to pursue that goal. Extrinsic goals are things that motivate me from the outside. Money, fame, reputation all fall within extrinsic goals. And it's not bad to be motivated by an extrinsic goal, but goals that are motivated by intrinsic goals, or goals that come from within us or within our own desires, are much stronger than extrinsic goals. Intrinsic goals fall under the category of something personal within one's life, trying to prove something to oneself, or trying to support a cause that one believes in. Even intrinsic reasoning that has darker motivations, such as trying to prove oneself to somebody that has left their life, can be a great motivation for some sort of passion project in one's life. After I identified that one goal and I identified the extrinsic and intrinsic reasoning for that goal, I also removed my fear of going against convention. Most of the time, doing anything extraordinary will garner some criticism from somebody, whether it be a relative, a friend, or somebody else close to you. Some people did not support my goals that I wanted to accomplish, but what I learned was to either take that criticism constructively and apply it to my life and goals, or to simply ignore the words that were spoken by those who were trying to go against me and those who were taunting me for going against convention. A good analogy for this are insults done in another language. If somebody's insulting me and I don't understand a word they are saying, their words mean nothing to me. Their words are powerless. It is only when I understand the words and I take them personally and put value in those words that I let those words attack me and let those words get to me. If I simply remove myself from the words and their definitions and meanings and don't take words personally, I'll be able to be so much more successful, and I'll be able to learn so much more from people who are actually trying to assist me and aid me on my journey of accomplishing a goal. The criticisms, the complaints, the condemnations, they don't mean anything if I don't put any mind to it. So every time I feel some sort of anger about what somebody said, I try to imagine somebody saying it in a foreign language that I do not understand, and then realize that the only reason those words are holding power over me is because of the value that I put into them and the thoughts behind them. So after I had my goal, my reasoning for the goal figured out, and I removed myself from the fear of condemnation of going outside the box, I took the time to write down my goal. So take out a piece of paper and a pen and write down on that piece of paper the date a year from now. And you are going to write the details of your day a year from now as if you are already living the life where you accomplished that goal. It's like a journal entry, so you have to write in the past tense. So for example, if your goal is to live the lifestyle of a millionaire, you could say, I woke up in my mansion in Beverly Hills and I had a breakfast served by a personal chef. I walked out to my backyard and smelled the fresh air of Beverly Hills and took a swim in the pool in the backyard. Those details are important to envisioning the goal and what will happen when the goal is accomplished. And that leads one to pursue the goal with an even stronger idea of what their life will look like once the goal has been accomplished. This is the hardest step to take because for me, it required the most reflection behind that goal. But once this was in place, the other steps were smaller and much more manageable. So the next step is to destroy the victim mindset. There's an unfortunate state in the world where people are born suffering different challenges, some much more difficult than others. But if any individual wants to advance in life, They have to remove the victim mindset. They can't play life as a victim. They have to act as a winner and take control of their life and act upon what they want to accomplish, even if they face challenges along the way. And some challenges are very, very difficult, but complaining won't get me anywhere, and the fate of my life is determined by me and me only. It is controlled by me. Once I realized that I can determine the fate of my life and that I had choices in my life, I was so astonished. I felt as if I had control, and I felt that I could change things for the better for my own life. So I had to destroy any thought of a victim mindset. People will always find reasons to complain about anything. I have to overcome any sort of challenges that I face in the best way possible with the resources that I have available to me. Not every situation is very easy to overcome, so it's important to take it step by step in some cases. But in any sort of challenging situation, there can be progress made in life. I simply had to have hope behind the mission that I wanted to accomplish, and I had to have passion behind it and drive. So it's not easy in most cases, but the victim mindset will completely hold me back if I don't destroy it and rid myself of it when I'm trying to accomplish a goal. If I don't leave that mindset when I'm starting something, the first obstacle that I face is most likely going to let me down. The next step that I had to take was to be intentional with my time. Time is the most valuable resource. I don't care. Time is more valuable than money. You can't buy time. People have billions of dollars and still suffer from age and the impending fate of human life. So I had to take control of the time that I was using, and I had to realize how limited it is and how fast it goes by if I don't use it for my goals and for my dreams rather than for the dreams of somebody else. I had to learn to say no, both verbally and personally. There are some cases where people will try to take advantage of you and ask for certain things that will only benefit them. I have the right to say no, and although sometimes I do some things out of pity for the other individual, I had to learn to set boundaries and clearly say that I do not want to put my time into this and that this person does not deserve my time. Because in this world, the most important person for everybody is themselves. If something doesn't benefit you directly, then there should be a strong consideration as to why you're doing it. If it's for family, if it's for friends, there are obviously different reasons. But first and foremost, you are the most important person in your life. But besides saying no to other individuals or other requests, I had to say no to the things that were eating up my time throughout the day. Doing some random activity, going on social media for extended periods of time, being addicted to some sort of game, or doing something that was not pursuing my goal or something that was beneficial to my life. Everybody has their bad habits. People go on social media for hours. People play video games for hours. People watch 24/7 news for hours. All of these habits are time wasters. Video games do not provide any long-term benefit in the long run, and watching local 24/7 news that doesn't affect the trajectory of my life is simply a waste of my time. Everything in the world is a battle for my attention, and I have to put my attention to where it belongs. To take control of the time I had, I'm making an effort to wake up earlier, and it's so important to do so because it's so much easier to set aside an hour each day to pursue the goal that I want to accomplish. With no distractions, no other obligations so early in the morning, I can get something done and be happy with the work that I did for the day. Now, before we get to the most important step that I took to take back control of my life, if you've made it this far, be sure to comment what your goal is for next year, and be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more self-improvement advice. The most important step I took to get my goals done, on top of everything that I mentioned previously, was to live in the present. I was going back home on the train, and I was looking on my phone through social media, and a video came up that said that you must stop being engulfed by the internet, by the things that aren't real. And then I looked up from my phone, and as I saw, it was sort of metaphorical how all the buildings and people were passing by on the train through the windows. Time was literally flying by, everything was flying by past me, and I realized that I was spending so much time on my phone. I just stared out the window for the rest of the train ride because it was such a great metaphor and it's such a great idea that the world I'm living in is passing by, and I can look back years and see so much go by so quickly. And as I get older, I only see time fly by even faster. So what do? I power off my phone as much as possible. It is only when I powered off my phone during those portions of the day when I felt most at peace with my life. There's an inherent stress related to having something connected to you that can instantly notify you about anything happening. In the times that I remove myself from my phone, I feel so calm. I feel like the world is moving slower. I feel much more relaxed. and I feel much more focused on the things that I'm doing. There's a push to be integrated with technology, to have everything connected within us, and eventually to have technology become a part of every single minute of our lives. Although technology isn't bad, the way it has taken control of my life is something that I had to take great attention to very recently. And I realized that if I stopped turning on technology itself and I let myself live my life much more slower and relaxed, I would enjoy myself much more and get to be present in the moment that I lived in and realize how much I can actually accomplish with my own life when I'm not distracted by the things that are present on my phone. And with whatever happens in the present moment, I try my best to not let emotions take over my actions. I simply intake what is happening and then I analyze it and don't let emotions control my actions. With this in mind, I'm taking a step away from becoming a slave to looking at technology and wasting my time all day on activities that are not going to improve my life. It's a complete waste of time. And although breaks are an excuse to go on my phone, going on my social media apps on my phone is not really a break because my mind isn't getting rest from what I'm doing. It's simply putting effort into analyzing something else that I'm looking up, but at a much lower intensity. I find that the best first step is to turn off my phone, have a different alarm system entirely, and only turn on my phone after I've completed 1 or 2 hours of the work that I want to do for the day. And then being able to power on my phone and be reconnected in a sense to the technological world. For steps following that, I would try to turn off my phone during more portions of the day, specifically turning off my phone much earlier in the evening than what I usually do, or taking time to turn off my phone, for example, in different patterns, so 2 hours on, 2 hours off, and then experiencing life, experiencing boredom, experiencing waiting at a much greater capacity than what I currently am now. Because that's when I really get to savor the moments of reality, the great parts of living life that are not completely distracted and taken away by the use of the internet. If you want more life advice, be sure to check out my self-improvement playlist on the screen. Thanks for watching, I believe in you, and I'll see you next time.